So yesterday we went out to Erie Ave, and you guys finally closed on the first
Right.
Jumping Jack Tax Community Center. You guys had a bunch of people there doing renovations. And what's really inspiring is that you two are really preaching about buying back the block, and you
It's
guys are
important.
actually doing it. Can you just dive deep into that story on because you've been there before? Did you
Yep.
ever think about buying a real estate property before?
Definitely. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. Now, before I even get into the part of the action steps of what somebody can do who doesn't really have enough money inside a bank account at the current moment, it's funny to talk about the dynamic of what happened yesterday. So, we're driving, we get to the actual, yesterday was closing day. Um, and for those that don't know, when you're buying real estate, what ends up happening is before you actually close the deal, you got to do a final walkthrough. Now, the final walkthrough is when you probably most likely meet the owners of the building. So we looked at the building like 3 4 times. The owners were never there, so I didn't know who they was. The real estate agent was there. So finally, we pull up, get to the building. Everybody's outside during the final walkthrough. We get there, we outside. The two owners walk out. To my surprise, they were Asians. Now, mind you, the area where the community center is located is right on Erie Avenue, like predominantly black neighborhood. Like not predominantly, 99.9% black neighborhood, right? Across the street is a Wawa. Also there's a nail salon. There's a dry cleaner, which both of those businesses are owned by Asians. And then you got Erie Lanes, that's right there, the bowling alley, right? Then right across the street, the building that we have now, which is in a prime location, Asians walk outside, they own the building. Immediately to me, I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Now I didn't know who I was going to expect to actually who owned the building at the time. But funny enough, we get back, we go inside of the building, we talking to the owners and everything. He said something so important. He was like, yeah, he was like, we've been sitting on this building for about 2 years. It was empty. The building's empty, by the way. If people saw the last video where I did the walkthrough, it's empty. It's like not all the way renovated. We're gonna renovate the whole thing, but he's like, yeah, we've been sitting on this for 2 years. This is a prime location. You can use this for many things. Watch what he said. You could use this for either a nail salon. You could use this as a dry cleaners. You could use this as a tax business. He started naming all need-based businesses, all things that he analyzed that everybody in that community needed. He ain't talk about once about a clothing line. He ain't talk once about a tattoo shop. He ain't talk about no he talking about no sneakers. None of the things, none of that stuff. No once at all. He literally had a plan to come in with all need-based businesses of where to put that because he wanted to capitalize off of that market. And I was just like, yo, how is it that Asians came into the black community, barely spoke any English, but they strategically knew what everybody in the community needed and wanted to start a business in that and didn't give a damn about what their passion was, no nothing. They only gave a damn about how am I going to maximize off of starting this business right here. And then they would have turned that business to something that was $500,000. And when people say, yo, it ain't no money in the hood, they would have opened up a business right there. If we hadn't bought that from them, opened up a business and that would have turned into a $500,000 company. Straight off of everybody in that community because it was thousands of houses. So it made me realize that as a community, we have to really focus in on the needs of our communities. If we really just drive around, right? I remember I used to drive around. I used to look right and used to look left. I used to see laundromats, nail salons, dry cleaners, Chinese stores, churches, the Puerto Rican, the poppy store, and then I would see the tax businesses. Then I would see, and I used to be like, yo, they was all packed. All of them, all packed. Service-based businesses, needs were all packed. So like they say there's no money in the hood. The money is just not coming to us because we're not in those businesses. And that's where we got to get into. And peak game, I'm gonna tell you a little deeper perspective of when we was at that building. Did you notice that we're trying to get the whole building renovated? Did you notice that there weren't any black people that we actually hired to do the renovations? Because the actual guys that specialized in what we actually needed to do Gus was what? What is Gus?
Hispanic.
Gus is Hispanic. He's a glass guy. He only focuses on glass. He don't focus on nothing else. He specializes in glass. He's the best too. He built our conference room he built peep game in the building that we in. Do you know he built all the conference rooms in this entire building? And each of those conference rooms was 10,000 a piece. 10, 15,000. So just off of this building alone, he's probably made 50K in this building. And then we're going to use him again to do all the glass. That's all he focuses on. Imagine now if as a community, we have now people that learn how to actually install glass and make it look beautiful. You know how much money is in the glass business? But why we don't know nothing about the glass business? But a Hispanic dude that's not even from I don't even think he's from this country. I think he came over here with his family, learned about the glass business. Now my man is making money. He's making serious money. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we gotta change that. Like, for example, we're gonna need the electricity done. We're gonna need the HVAC done. We need more people in the communities that know how to do that stuff. Not to say like we have there's a lot of young black men that's learning about HVAC and electricity and all that, but we need more. We need ones that are accessible, like everywhere. Like, damn, like, yo, we took this over. Why are we not learning the trades? These are things that people need. Every time a house is purchased, every time a building is purchased, that building needs so much work done. It needs floor work. You need a floor guy. It needs sheetrock and all that put up. You're gonna need somebody that does that. You're gonna need somebody that specializes in electricity. You're gonna need somebody that specializes in HVAC. You need somebody that specializes in glass. You're gonna need somebody that specializes with the outside when it comes to the shingles and it comes to roof. You're gonna need a roofer. You're gonna need somebody that specializes in roofs. Yo, when I say it's so much money out here every time that a building is purchased, and while we're not just specializing in one area of every time a building is purchased, they hire me, the roofer. You know how many buildings is purchased in a matter of a year just in Philadelphia? I can't even imagine. Thousands. And a lot of them probably need roofs done, and they need something of that sort that if you specialized in it, they could have hired you. And that's a couple $1,000 job. My man Gus had like 10 jobs. He's like, y'all got like 10 jobs that he working on right now. He like 60 something. Like, I don't think like he like gotta be anywhere between his 50s and his 60s. He had built a whole business out of it. That was the dynamic I saw, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. We all need to get into those things, and we will all be good. Imagine now if like all black people was working on that building in all the different areas. Now the money is being circulated. But how can I circulate money when I don't know half the people of the real jobs that I need done? And I'm not talking about people that just learned how to do it. Listen, I'm more than willing to give somebody an opportunity. But of course, with giving somebody an opportunity, I got to know that they specialize in it too, that they're a high level professional, because I want things done a certain way. So I'm not just telling you to just, go get your HVAC license and then you just a basic person. I'm not obligated to pay you just because you're black and you do it at a very very minimal level. Nah, I want a high professional. I want a high level professional, because guess what? If somebody hire me as a black man, I'm giving you the highest level of professionalism as if you were to go anywhere else. Because I know the tax industry in and out. I'm gonna give you a high level. We got to be on a high level, and I shouldn't just have to pay you just because you're black. You should also be giving me a high quality service, and you should be the best at what you do to where I can't deny you 100%. We can't take that off of the table, you know. But it's like that was the dynamic there. But what I just say about your question that you asked, as far as like somebody who's sitting at home and they're like, damn, I don't have any money, what can I do? Use your hands. You know, the very first thing that God blessed us with was hands and feet, and that was free. I can go out right now and I can deliver newspapers. I can go out. Do you know that in certain states it's legal for you to actually collect people's recycling and take it to a recycling building and get paid for that? Did you know that? Did you know that on the back of a bottle, there's a certain on the back of the bottle, it tells you how much you can get paid if you actually take the recycling, the water bottles like Poland Spring and Dasani and all that. If you collect people's bottles and take them to the actual recycling center, they owe you a rebate, a check on the spot when you get them the bottles. Did you know I can use my hands to do many things, services. I can mow the lawn. I was talking to the guy the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, I know how to mow lawns," but he actually wanted to open up a water company. We met the dude when we was in Pittsburgh at the workshop, and the dude was like, "I want to open up a water company," but he knew how to landscape. I'm like, "Why you don't want to go into landscape?" "Nah, I ain't going to landscaping, bro. I want to sell water." I'm like, "Sell water for what? You know, you're a landscaper. You know how much money you can make as a landscaper? You can make a living."
And he said he was very good at it.
And he was very good at it. I know what I'm doing too, and I got people that be calling me and all of that. Are you crazy right now, bro? You got people calling you for landscaping, but you want to sell water? But that's the mentality that we got to get out of, thinking that everything that we doing got to feel good and it got to make sense. No, I just got to do things that are going to generate me revenue, that are going to make me enough money by using my hands is something that I'm skilled at doing. And by taking the money from my skill, I can now invest it into the things that I actually want to do.